Hello viewers and welcome to your number one sports program on the Sierra Network Discoveries in Sports with me, Scyll Akempta-Kargbo. Viewers, today with me inside the program I deal with Alhaji Komba, one of the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Boxing Association, as we they come for talk plenty to what happen inside the association and also within the way forward. Hello sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much and greetings to viewers.
You will please tell viewers what you're watching right now, a small synopsis of your association.
Yeah, and to start with, as the presenter don't say, Mina Alhaji Komba, the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Boxing Association. The Sierra Leone Boxing Association get the responsibility for administer boxing locally and internationally, and registered with the National Sports Authority of Sierra Leone with supervisory and responsibility from the Ministry of Sports, and also gets another supervisory task from the National Olympic Committee of Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone Boxing Association, of course, don't operate in Sierra Leone from the 60s onto date, and we don't consistently they run as an association, even though with enormous challenges. But for present situation, we just don't return from the IBA Men's World Boxing Championship. We at the highest stage of association internationally. We get for do it purely IBA. We're not the International Boxing Federation. And this is not the very first time for Sierra Leone go that stage day for go compete on behalf of the country. And before we go yonder, we get plenty of things that we will do. We reach the grade mark, at least for participating at that stage. And just in August this year, we've been celebrate the International Boxing Day. That gave a day in commemoration of the 1974 first ever IBA World Boxing Championship will be take place in Cuba. So we get that date for celebrate as World Boxing Day globally. And Sierra Leone, with celebration, we get international attention because of the plans we put in place and how we able to implement, we plant them. And then they be in line with IBA expectations of all national federations in the country. And then they happen immediately after a month. We also, for the first time, go open a boxing gym now, the Southern Regional Headquarters town in Abo. And again, that's not the very first ever boxing gym outside of the one we will get at the Siaka Stevens Stadium Abo. So that just day in line with we decentralization drive of the association, because that's one of the tasks we all association get as a requirement for the under the National Sports Authority. Say your activities will be reflected in all the regional headquarter towns, if not all the districts then in the country. Then the other dream of that, not simply because in Sierra Leone or Africa as a whole, we believe say we get people with natural strength in the provincial areas, so we can go tap them and just for work on them for become professional boxers. Because in the capital, we get most upcoming youths, male and female, don't dedicate themselves to football because of the attraction where football gets. Also, for the first time, we will get the national championship. In the history of boxing, all national championships don't take place in Freetown. But this time we say no, because we don't get a gym now outside of Freetown, we'll begin decentralize the activities. And a major activity like that will take them to Bo for the first time without traveling with the only ring who ever get for the past 40 years in Salone. The gym we will establish in Bo gets a new ring and every other facility. We're more sophisticated past the ones we get now Freetown. In fact, they compete with other boxing gyms now the sub-region in Africa. So with all the lined-up activities within the recent months, don't give it the clouds, follow go now the IBA Men's World Boxing Championship. And our representation be very, very much meaningful and colorful. Because at the end of the day, we are not there with individual names, but for lift the green, white, and blue up and raise the name of the country, Sierra Leone, higher than expected at the world stage. That event, not just like we get a World Cup for football. now the highest event. Because if you get the Olympic Games now IOC competition, the Commonwealth Games now, and government games, the All African Games are government games. And these are games we, all other sporting associations can come under one umbrella of the National Olympic Committee and also government for support for go. But this get for deal with ourselves directly. And this one where we go, very important because we able to expose and we boxers them for reach another world stage and for further build and confidence then can box na any stage in the world.
Now only they small. I'm wondering tell viewers the way they watch you, the relationship we wanna get with NSA.
We relationship with NSA, we are a well-registered association with NSA. We go through the registration process of NSA and we've been qualified and then grant we certificate and we pay with dues accordingly. Yes, so we are well recognized by NSA.
As you make mention earlier, additional, we already discussed, you say boxing on day from the 1960s. And one you tell viewers them the basic laurels the way this association don't count in a salon.
The laurels and they, of course, in the late 70s to 80s, when you talk of boxing West Africa, Sierra Leone, now we be the top because we began boxers like Egerton Foster. Now inside Nigeria in 1984, he go for qualify for go to the Olympic Games na USA, and we also be the host sub-regional competitions like Zone 2 na Africa, Sierra Leone, where we don't win those days. And boxing, of course, then we and football they compete in terms of support or fan base because people them be lucky. They go out na competitions. We don't get boxers. We don't go to competitions na Africa. We don't return home with gold medals. We don't go also na international stages like in USA, UK, where we go with administrative competitions. We don't succeed, and also athletes competition. Then we don't come back home. All other international competitions we don't represented. Like in 2019, we go on to quarterfinal stage. Now the All African Games, we able to tap Didra Chestnut now Sierra Leone and Canadian born will be able to tap and come with na Sierra Leone for can represent the green, white, and blue, with also Zainab and Keita. So we also don't go na international competitions. So decisions they count against we, but representation very, very appreciable because we put up brave fights them. And also now Sierra Leone we don't get boxers. We don't compete now against and boxers from even Europe where would they make we mark in those days. Yes. So we get plenty things for record back home.
This trip way una just come out from so. How you are the Secretary General, how una put things together for make sure say everything go as planned?
It's been very, very challenging. Very, very challenging, yeah. But the association of one for missed the opportunity. So me and my president, Mr. Solomon D. Kargbo, and the executive members do all we can in with powers as an association for make sure say we go represent Sierra Leone. We do the necessary information to the supervisory and regulatory bodies within the National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Sports. But because time not been there in them favor for response, so we adequately we decide for pre-finance in partnership with the International Federation for make sure say we don't miss out on the opportunity or even possible suspension because we already be done with the registration. But thanks to NSA, we facilitate the process because then do and a documentation for that we will get note verbal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We'll be able to get, will President travel to Abuja and Nigeria for go secure the visa. We'll be able aid we for the we go there. Even though without any financial support, but we get the best wishes and prayers from Sierra Leoneans back home and abroad, for giving the moral support for the we did it. So we don't come back and pay courtesy call to the Minister of Sports. We don't assure we say all the debts then we don't incur for participating in that competition in office, and NSA go try for the government reimburse them because the country stand the risk for facing ban or suspension if we not pay them and pre-financing debts than the way we incur.
So how una able map out talents there? How una able get say this man qualify for go represent Sierra Leone. I can get indoor championship on I can make from maybe the winner go represent the country, or the coaches can just choose who that they feel for choose.
Like this one will just come out. Now that could be organized the national championship na bow. Now they will go select. Every boxer now will go represent this country. They do that on merit. We not say waiting it on the happen in the past. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we not just want for carry them go for go sake, but for go represent. Even if the performance not go for be okay, but let be say with conscience and clear say now the best we choose among the rest in the different weight categories them for go represent in our international competition. We know people want winnings, but it's not going to be automatic. It's a stage. First of all, now a learning process. We don't go, we don't get the experience, we don't come back. The coaches, they now don't get the task. Who side them will say, we know they get them right, for let them work on day so that we will compete more.
How the boxers them, whose experience would they say go get from this?
The experience too huge. The experience too huge. Imagine you go on a world stage, you didn't have floor with England, Italy, Uzbekistan, then countries, then when you talk of boxing, you and then they didn't have floor would they interact because then places then they no class, no racial discrimination. Everybody they consider himself be one. For example, we get boxers we compete against continental champions. We represent them countries and day. So if you mindset, don't say you say you don't compete with this person at this stage. I don't believe say any other stage competition proceeding after this one, you will get issue of confidence building challenge again because you already don't know say you don't compete. And also now you will go Google now IBA competitions then you will get Sierra Leonean boxers. The way the names then will come up say they don't compete at this stage. Before this time it not be ever happen. Then they don't get the exposure. We don't forget as boxers. It is just natural. This is not a combat sport that you fight, you not succeed, you come back and fight another day. So now just that, now a competition. Definitely one single country or person for win among the over 205 countries then we go there. So we're not fortunate for them amongst that, but we can prepare ourselves for the subsequent competitions then. But that will be a very good learning process for not only the boxers, but we serve the administrators because for the first time we get the opportunity for sit face to face with the IBA president, who will be there among other 14 countries, Sierra Leone. For Sido, if you go on the IBA website now, you see them clearly with pictures and the day. We see them, we will tell them some of the challenges that they get back home and how they will be able to unify and consider itself on a one platform as World and Boxing Federation and for discard or discourage the differences we can do in class, knowing that Africa, of course, we struggle always. Countries in Europe, America, or Asia, of course, no they suffer like how we suffer. So they don't take that into consideration. But we also put up a case of visa and securing visa for them competitions then day. Especially we would in countries who will not get most of the European embassies then. Now we country we can be a double task on we for going then competitions then day. And then we in the Western world, for some of them countries then they do not even need visa for goodie. So all done in a learning process for we who don't go and we say we don't hammer we points home and we get assurance. Say then we'll get special consideration for we in Africa when then competitions then they will come up again. So all this will count as a success towards the trip.
Somebody really watch you right now go and ask the question, how much man delegation on Amigo?
We've been registered a 12-man delegation. We can go 10-man delegation because of situation beyond we control. Inside that 10-man delegation, 9 come up from Sierra Leone. The one, not Tony Cisse, when I coach, when the first time this will be able to get them for registering because they get the prerequisite qualification for go as coach in the world stage. Tony Cisse come from London. We can join we now Serbia and we compete and return home.
We'll talk small, but the challenges there with the association they face. No, we talk small, but the basic challenges they will they face with the limits on our work for make sure say what we say for achieve we need to achieve.
The challenge is enormous. Yeah, we like any other and sports apart from football they facing challenges because that level playing field will feel so forget for government support and attention not there at all. At the start of every year, the NSA or Ministry of Sport, they ask all associations recognized by them for do a budget who can submit to them for approval by finance. At the end of the day, they can approve that budget. all the money not to football in the Krango, leaving us struggling. But you want us to give out the best out there. How you go do them if finance no day? Sports is about money. Sports is about finance. No way, no the way you able to do them without money. Look football within the cherish now. Appearance number way player they appear for a national team and they get money. Why would I not go transfer the same opportunity to other sporting associations? Because at the end of the day, we all have to lift the same green, white, and blue high in a world stage or continental stage. And the boxers where we deal with like other sport na Sierra Leoneans, then they transform them for become meaningful citizens. And we on consideration, most of the people we can choose for the combat sports na street boys. And the street boys, you meet them. The minds and in the devil's workshop, either they meet chief man there or a man there where they do bad things in our society. So it's a whole project for you forget them, for transform the mindset first to start with. And the mindset first you get for transform, for become somebody where go realize say, I able to become a meaningful somebody in our society. Then later now you begin work on technical skills and the ability for you able to do the sport itself in a boxing. Then later, you prepare them for going to continental and world stage. It's a project. Imagine without money. We know they get money right now from international federation for funding on annual budget. Same thing with government. So that's a major challenge. The other thing again got to do with money because lack of equipment and facilities. We're not getting indoor facilities, for example. We're going to host if we get unfavorable weather condition, we know the rains in and out of Freetown. But then they happen. And we only get one green boxing ring, Sierra Leone and the gym. Thanks to we hard work for going in search of a partnership with African elite athletes. We are the association partner with follow we will get that boxing gym now in Southern region. We also there on plans for get another in the northern regional headquarters town of Makeni. So we are moving, but we need government for complementary effort. The other challenge now a combat sport we they deal with. Plenty upcoming boys and girls. Them parents them forced to start with. No one for encourage them. They tell you say, hey, you want to pull me picking face, you want damage me picking, then can talk then they. That they inject fear into them picking them for camp. Then the people themselves. Football and they say and say a pleasure, it gets all the time, all the attention from government, pouring money. So and the one for go inside and they make quick money. And we believe saying that they again government they cheat on we and other associations. Because if they pour money on that football, the same money they pour, it's not gonna be the same, but they give we serve the attention. Then we say able to use that for convince boys and girls for can do the sport because they feel they're able to realize benefits out of their association with boxing. But because then they say all money is being poured to football, automatically they divert them all for going to football. This is why even for get administrators, for administer the other sports here, it's difficult. Because they feel say if they come on, they feel it's a waste of time. So governments, they undermine the progress of the other sport them. They push them all to football because they feel it's a quick money and attention get for day. So it takes us a special passion and love for how we able to continue for promote and developing sport. You see, so this is one of the challenges. The other challenge, because the sport be done in a Western area, follow you get people of natural strength, very difficult. Now you go around, the young boys coming up, they need to push drugging and other things where they even give them chance for camp. So now we go for go now the provinces, even the movement and they require money. Training camp, training facility. We get sophisticated training camps then with professional technical experts then. Where all other countries they do, where we have wonder opportunity. Again, get for do with money. All ends in the and as some of the things then that we can count against with prospect for compete better than continental or world stage than they. So the challenges than they. But we are determined. We believe say the moment government pay attention and private sector investment, the corporate institutions then come for sponsor, for partner with we. Like we before this time in the 70s, 80s, Brewery, for example, and we know for partner with boxing, we may be able to produce better boxers for represent Sierra Leone. They are sure any corporate institution say if you partner with boxing, then boxing will ready for lift on a flag and also onward lift the flag of the country higher than expected.
Mr. Secretary General, finally, before we end this interview, what's in the future holds for the Boxing Association?
The future is bright. Yeah, this go Gona Sabia. Of course, we don't lift the flag of Sierra Leone up there other countries they know say we are force for reckon with. Administratively, we are pushing. We're in a very strong relationship with the continental body and also the international body. We then go recognize we. And one thing we don't ask for now training courses for with coaches in the area of technical expertise and also with referees and judges in the area of officiating. These are things we can mostly count against with preparation as a national federation and also administrative courses. That they in line again for training camps and opportunities for we boxers, for letting them get more and more international exposure. We are working on NTR and also we are on movement now for able to tap the boxers at a very younger age. We'll go for target schools and also go to the provincial areas because we want to generate more young boxers now who will be able to develop or become professional boxers. We want to assure viewers and listeners of this particular sport program that the trajectory is right up there, the focus is up there for make sure so we get boxers and for puts the image of Sierra Leone na the world stage na boxing.
Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Well, viewers, that's na Alaji Komba, the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Boxing Association. They don't say we plenty to the happen inside the association and also waiting at the plans for the future. Me don't be your host when a Scyll Akempta-Kargbo. Plenty thank you to my camera operator on Samuel Bright and also to my executive producer when a Dr. Asatuka Kejalo. Until then, always stay glued to Sierra Network Discoveries in Sports.
Tell everybody say the Dibade don't agree say we for put Bondo na Sierra Leone this year.
Tradition there. We self come it up, yes. So to put it alive, to try for maintain now, follow myself can the system and things in about. Probably when I was last week, we talked to me like say me about person.
The Dibade don't agree say we for put Bondo na Sierra Leone this year.
This tradition be don't make fun with grandpa them. When I pull Bondo, na Sierra Leone, they all pa them. Then they can pick all what the ones first.
Now this have they say tradition. This have they against that you.
You could make the you let me see to your point.
Now we don't turn this for those who choose the woman them who let.
This is a first marriage.
And this lawyer will meet her. Who father the father the back.
You expect me for change the laws now this time? When we papa then don't make now we the can't pull her.
Then all don't die. Why that not there for Tinapia? Hey.
Maxine.
You know we can switch face. I can feel fine.
This tradition won't get us to not see nothing change.
After 10 years, 15 years, that this trip will decide for put Bondo na Sierra Leone. Nobody will marry you. Over me, little body, aggress. You betray me.
I don't understand. One go up on the point. Susu. But Susu is business. Do your mama want to wasi and